Nebraska is after a number of players still and hasn't taken a commitment during this side of the signing period yet. What's been happening with their targets, and specifically what were those recruits up to over the weekend? John Bivens, the running back from Ohio, told Husker 247 that he did have a visit set up and that he'd be keeping it quiet. He remains very interested in Nebraska at this time, and the door may be opening for him to commit to the class. Cincinnati is a local team to watch. Toledo has also made a push for the Archbishop Alter Sonifanua. This outside linebacker, defensive end hybrid visited Oklahoma State over the weekend and has a final trip to LSU on deck. The Huskers hosted in January and are making a push, but there were other targets likely ahead of him. It'll be interesting to see if Nebraska gets in home. Demarion Houston, Nebraska went in home with this receiver on Thursday and he did not appear to take a visit anywhere over the weekend. The Huskers look to be in good shape for the speedster out of Oklahoma City. Houston plans to visit Colorado this upcoming weekend, but Nebraska should be the favorite as the trip draws near. DJ James, this defensive back, committed to Oregon last week. He visited Nebraska the first weekend of January, but the Huskers never quite made the move for the Mississippi State commitment. Dylan Jordan, Nebraska hosted this defensive recruit over the weekend and appeared to make major headway. The Huskers impressed Jordan with the facilities, but really he liked the coaches and the plan they have for him on defense the most. TCU went in home last night and Jordan is expected to make a decision on Monday afternoon. The Horned Frogs have all of the TCU predictions at this time. Tavian Mayo, the defender from Georgia, did not have a visit this past weekend. He has taken trips to Iowa State and North Carolina this month, after making a visit to West Virginia in December. Nebraska hosted him in October, but the Huskers appear on the outside looking in. No upcoming trip set for the defender for now. Charles Joku, this receiver, committed to UCLA on Friday night. Nebraska hosted him the first weekend of January, but a visit to the Bruins, a scholarship offer during the trip, and the plans on how he'd be used on offense all pushed him out west. Stephen Parker, one of Nebraska's top remaining targets, Parker did not take a visit this weekend and told 247 Sports that he plans to decide the Monday after his final visit. That last trip will be to Kansas. The Huskers hosted Parker the first weekend of January. Matthew Polomau, this appeared to be one of the more likely Nebraska commitments at one time, but the Huskers have now backed off and it doesn't even seem like a visit will be happening. It'll be interesting to see if Polomau has a decision by signing day, as his opportunities seem limited. Jamel Starks, one of Nebraska's favorite defensive back targets in the summer, Starks came out for a visit in September and seemed to really like the Huskers, but nothing ever materialized beyond that. Instead, he held off from an announcement, and now the crystal ball is heading heavily toward Louisville, where he visited this weekend. Starks still has a trip to Syracuse left.